Hi everybody, welcome to Plant Grower, where we can grow things because we like them, because we like to grow them, we like to grow them, we like to grow them. So for my soil, I use peat moss, garden soil, and perlite. Soil mix, 10% perlite, about 45% garden soil, and about 45% perlite. So then we just mix it all thoroughly to make sure it's all mixed in. And that's the soil I'll be using. I mean, I guess we could buy just garden soil, but this way I can control what's in it and how much of everything in it. For example, these are going to be the cuttings, so that's the mix I like. For grown plants, I'll add some nutrients and minerals, but I'll still make my own soil just because I know what's going in it and that it works perfectly fine for plants. Now, everyone does things their own way, so what I like to do for cuttings anyway, I'll prepare my soil and then I'll put water in it and mix it right away. So that when I go to put the soil in the cups, it's already nice and wet, so it's not going to sink anymore. And I know that for sure it's all going to be watered. Because for cuttings, you want it to be wet to begin with. If it is dry, the roots will not take. So before I do anything, I make sure that all of my soil is completely wet and mixed in. Cups, I just use normal red Solo cups. I mean, clear cups are better because you can see the progress, but that's all I have, so that's all I'm using. And what I do is I take the cup, take a drill, and I make 3 or 4 holes on the bottom. So that's what the finished product looks like. We have drainage holes in each cup. We have our pre-soaked soil. So now let's get to getting the cuttings ready. Pomegranate is one of the easiest plants to root the cuttings off. The plant is currently dormant. So I'll take a couple of cuttings and then show you what goes from there. So these are the cuttings of the pomegranate that we just took. So now we're going to make them a good size. So this one, we can actually get a couple of cuttings. The main stem and a smaller piece. So this one looks like just one piece, but I can actually get lots of cuttings out of it. So I'll take this one and I'll take a bunch more. So here we have all the usable cuttings. They're all about the same length. Some are thinner, some are thicker. That doesn't really matter as long as they are a good length so that we have room for the roots and room for new growth. So I have at least 3-4 buds on each one. So over here we can see there's buds over here, there's buds over here. There's lots of buds where the new growth is going to come out. Before we get started, make sure whatever you're using to cut your cuttings is clean. I use alcohol. You just put it on a cloth or something and wipe your scissors or cutters or whatever you're using. Once that's done, we take our cutting and we cut it on 2 sides. So I just take it, cut it off. Cut until you can see the white, which is the inside. Okay, so we cut it on 2 sides. It looks something like this. Camera focuses. So it looks something like this. on both sides. That's where the roots are going to come out. Next, we take our rooting hormone. I just use this one. I don't know if it really makes a difference. I have 3 or 4 different ones, and it's worked with every single one. We take our cutting, water. You dip it into the water. Dip it into the rooting hormone, and it's good to go into a cup. Cups with pre-drilled holes, and we fill it with our pre-soaked soil. This way, when you water it, it's not going to drop in level, and every bit of this soil is already wet, so it's good for the cutting, and you don't have to water it for a little bit, because cuttings don't require a lot of water. They just need heat on the bottom and a cooler temperature on the top. So there's a difference in temperature from the bottom to top, and that's how the roots will form. So we take our cutting, we take our cup, once it's dipped in it, we just stick it all the way down. We're going to lose some of the rooting powder, but that's fine. It's going to retain some of it. If you're really worried, take it out, dip it in again, and put it right back in the same hole. That way you have a lot more rooting powder on it. What you can also do is take one of your cuttings, just dip it in, make that indent, and then wash it off, and repeat the process of cutting on either side of the cutting, dipping it in your rooting powder, and sticking it back into the cup. Now we take our cuttings and we put them in the grow box that I have built for them. I have mulch on the bottom, heat mat underneath, and a light. Everything that's in the box right now was a cutting without anything green on it whatsoever. There is another pomegranate. This one is quite a bit bigger. All of this was at one point a cutting. I have lots of new ones here. I have lots of ones that have growth on them. But it's just as easy as that. So that's what it looks like when it's all done. And after about 2 months, this is what it's going to look like. They're all nice and healthy pomegranates. And there is 4 plants in there. In about 2 or 3 months, when it's warmer outside, I will take it out, I will separate them all, and that will be 4 brand new plants on their own. So far, I've had about 100% success rate with pomegranate cuttings. It is all very nice and easy. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to post a comment, and I'll get back to it as soon as I can. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.